In this video, I'll be talking about my favorite Saucony shoes ever. And if you follow me on Instagram or you've watched any of my videos, then you know I'm a huge Saucony fan. Those shoes would be the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3s. And in this video, I'll be going over my experience with them, how I've used them, the specs, price, and whether or not I believe you should buy these. So before we get into it, just a quick disclaimer that Saucony did not ask me to make this review. They have no idea I exist still somehow, and I paid for these with my own money. Needless to say, let's get into it. So first off, the specs on these shoes. So they're super lightweight. The women's version comes in at 6.2 ounces. The men's version comes in at 7.2 ounces. So they're very lightweight. It's one of the things that I love most about them. They're super breathable. I mean, you can see through them, basically. So anytime I'm wearing socks that have printed designs on them or different colors, you can actually see them through the mesh in this upper. So this shoe has an S-curve carbon fiber plate. You can actually see right here. These are pretty dirty. I've got some miles in them, and I'll talk about that in a bit. It's got Power Run PB foam in them. They have XT900 rubber for durability and traction, and I've had no issues even running on wet, slippery surfaces in these. Saucony says they have a form-fit design that hugs your foot, and like I said, I feel like they're super breathable, the most comfortable Saucony shoes I've tried yet, and I have several. So Saucony says that they are suitable for racing, tempo running or interval training, road running, and various types of fast running. So I've only used these in races and just before races to make sure that I ran well in them and that they didn't irritate my feet. So let's get into the price. These are not cheap, so they come in still at $225. Now, I was fortunate enough to be able to use my Fleet Feet rewards on these and made it a little less damaging to my wallet, but still a hefty price tag. But, I mean, you've got the carbon fiber plate, and they're actually cheaper than most other brands of shoes with carbon fiber plates in them. So $225, yeah, that's expensive, but it's not as expensive as some of the others. The good news is the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4 is rumored to be released next April. So just a little over 4 months away, and that means that these will probably drop in price. I'm really hoping that's the case, and although I would love to see what the new Pros are like, I would jump on these in a heartbeat when the price drops. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons of the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. So first off, the pros. I've only worn these for races, and longer races at that. So I ran my first marathon at the end of October. I ran my first half marathon in April, and then I ran another half marathon in August and another one on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I will say that I have PR'd every time I've run a race in these shoes. Now, granted, the first marathon and the first half marathon is a given PR, but I have improved by nearly 11 minutes in running my half marathons in these shoes. Is it the shoes? I don't know. They still feel as great as they did on day one. So I have 125 miles in this pair of Saucony Endorphin Pro 3s, and they still feel amazing. They're not quite as perfect as they were straight out of the box. They still do have that amazing foam smell that I love from Saucony. If you've had Saucony shoes, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know, it's just intoxicating to me because I know they're, still great and newish even at 125 miles in them. Another pro of these is they were extremely breathable and comfortable for even my longest run in these 26.2 miles. So in my full marathon, they were amazing. In all three of my halves, they were amazing. And these were run in different temperatures, so of course in August half marathon it was very hot and humid. Even my full marathon at the end of October, I'm in the Atlanta area, it was pretty warm, and these were super breathable. Never have had any hot spots or issues like that, no blisters, no rubbing on the heels, nothing in these. So super comfortable, super lightweight, super breathable. So now we'll talk about the cons. First up, the price. Like $225 for a pair of shoes is insane. When you think about all you could buy with that, you could buy 2 pairs of the Saucony Triumph 20s for that. I would say there has been some wear in the rubber, And it was only through looking at race photos that I was able to see that I do heel strike pretty badly, and I'm working on that. But you can see, especially on the heels, the rubber is kind of starting to wear. These got kind of dirty running my marathon. It was kind of through a very wooded area, and I did a practice run beforehand, and it was rainy. I wanted to see how these held up in wet, slippery conditions. They were fine, but they got super muddy, and I don't know, I just haven't really gotten around to cleaning them. Another con is that they're inevitably not going to last as long as other shoes. So, you know, carbon plated shoes don't last forever, and they wear out a lot quicker. So a lot of people say, you know, 100 miles, 100 to 200 miles for these. Some people continue to use them as daily trainers after they kind of hit that peak mark of, you know, say after 200 miles, they start using them as their everyday trainers. And I could see myself doing that, but for me right now, honestly, they're still feeling good enough to race in. And then one more con that I have personally is that the tongue kind of slips in these. Now, from what I've read with the newer version, they've updated that where it doesn't slip as bad, but for these, I don't know, it's especially the right shoe, the tongue tends to slip down. I have to keep pulling it out. So that's just one thing. Oh, and another thing is these will dye your socks. Now, anytime I wear these and I have any ounce of sweat, or if it's wet, my socks are going to be pink from these. The good news is it washes out usually, but when I did run in these in the rain, it didn't come out of the socks. So luckily it was some pink features, you know, and nobody's really going to be able to tell, but word of warning, these will dye your socks, at least the pink version. Now I'm not sure about other versions, other colorways, but this pink colorway does dye socks, and I'd already heard about it online, and sure enough, that happened to me. So just one more con, but I mean, hey, you know, it's not the end of the world. Kind of like a battle scar for your socks, I guess. So my final verdict, I kind of gave it away already at the beginning, but these are my absolute favorite pair of Saucony shoes, and it's a shame that they're so expensive because I would definitely have 5 or 6 pairs of these. I just love them that much. So I will definitely grab another pair in April when that price comes down, when the 4s come out. Fingers crossed. But these are my favorite running shoe of all time. So this is my personal experience with the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3s. As always, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will keep getting better.